Hello guys, today's video is about classes and methods. In the last video I covered a few concepts about classes and methods, but today I will be talking about properties, inheritance, and polymorphism, and I will show you some examples about it. So let's take a little bit about our properties. I will go back to the example on the same example of the last video. So we created a calculator and we created our class program. So our program entry point where the program starts is inside this main method. This is a default pattern for C#, and that's why we cannot change this type over here to string from int. So we tried to do that in the previous video and we saw that it won't work. Here I am creating our calculator. I am passing the arguments that we receive in our main, and I am printing on the screen. So right now I will create a property inside our class. So our properties, they will always receive an access modifier. They will always receive a type and a name. So let me see. I will do this number. So our property will have number. And also we have to define methods for our property. So the methods that we will define is a method that will retrieve the value of this number for us, and a method that will set the number for us. And another thing that I explained in the previous video was about methods. I showed you that we have some rules to create methods, and we created this one that is called add and this one sub. One is for addition, the other for subtraction. And here you can see that I did something a little bit different. So why I did that? It's because C# has sugar syntax. Sugar syntax are a way that is a short way, an easy way for us to create things that are repeated a lot for us to get for us to receive some kind of performance during our coding time. So here I am creating this get and set. It's faster than coming over here and creating a method like that public. So imagine that this get method is the same thing as all of this. So I have a get number method and I have to return the same value that is available here. So for me to have access to this value, I should have access to get method. If I don't create this, I won't be able to have access. And this method, the same thing, but in a more short way. We are creating this get and set over here. And that's the way that we create a property. Now I will be showing you how to use this and how to set this method. So here we have the creation, the instantiation of our calculator class. So our calc over here receive the calculator class, and I am able to create the, the number here. Look, the number is already here, provide some kind of value for this number. And if I check this number here, if I check this number here in the next line, it will show me the number is 10. So I will remove this code and I will run my code. Okay, it's running. Look, the same number that we gave over here. So it's something pretty easy. Okay, guys, that is a property. And now I want to show you about inheritance. So let's suppose we have different class over here that is called super calculator. Our super calculator will have a method that is called let me see, int multiply. Okay, so our method will be called multiply, and this method will be available for me when I create an instance of supercalculator. So I did here, I was creating a calculator, a regular one, and now I am creating a super calculator. So you see that if I use this value over here, I will have a way to multiply my methods. So I call the super call, I multiply the values, I receive the result, I do the print screen, and now we are able to see the results. So everything is working just fine. But what if I try to add numbers in my super calculator? You see that we are receiving errors. We are receiving errors over here because super calculator does not contain this method called add for addition. So what happens? We only have this method called multiply. And if I remove this method from here and I save my program, the same thing will happen. So now I don't have the method multiply, and I also doesn't have the method add. So that's why inheritance is for. So once I create inheritance over here, my parent class will be calculator and my child class will be super calculator. So the things that are possible to do with this super calculator will be extended by this calculator. As you see, these two methods and even this property will be available for every super calculator. So once I come over here, I will be able to see that addition is available, but not multiply because I don't have multiply anymore. So I will remove multiply. I'll do the same. I'll give the result variable for my super call add, and I will print the value over here. As you see, I have these results, so everything is working just fine. And right now I will create the multiply method inside my calculator, so it will be available for all super calculators. Same idea. And I can just change over here the add method for multiply. Everything will work just fine. Okay, it's working. So now that you know inheritance, I want to show you about overriding. So the first thing about overriding is we can have different ways to do the same thing. So imagine that we have the super calculator over here, and once I am multiplying some sort um, some sort of values, I would like to multiply by a different way or do something different. So I'd like to add plus 2. So let's suppose that we are a bank, and always when someone is doing some chores, we multiply the amount of time of chores that the person was doing, and we give a bonus of 2 or more um, $2 or more for this person. So this will have a special way to multiply things, a very specific way. So that's the way overriding works in polymorphism. So you have this multiply and you have another multiply that is overriding the old one from the mother class, from the parent class. And right now the multiply that is available here is not the original anymore, it's the new one that you wrote at your class. So let's start the program. Okay, it's working. As you see, 32, it's not 30 anymore. And the same thing could happen because you could have another class that is another method. Sorry, you could have another method that is called multiply but with more parameters, and this would be called overloading. That's the same idea of polymorphism, but you are creating different multiplies, and now you are creating with different parameters. So these methods, they are pretty much the same but with different parameters and with different behavior, with um, different implementations. So these are polymorphism. This is very helpful when you have big softwares and you work for huge companies. So you have to have in mind this kind of features. So now I will run the program for you, and here is the answer. So you have the multiplication, and then we add 7, so 37. So it's working. And that's all, guys.